Today we're going to be going through the all-in-one curriculum 7th grade homeschool curriculum pack. It includes math, science, language arts, and social studies. I want to mention that this curriculum has a flexible format. You're seeing the printed version today, but our curriculum is actually digital first, which means you can use it on any computer, tablet, or mobile device. You can also print it, whatever works best for your family, which is really nice. I also want to mention it's a complete curriculum, which means it includes the 4 main subjects in any K through 12 curriculum, which is language arts, math, science, and social studies. We typically don't do electives. We are adding them. We just added financial literacy to high school. We're adding health education to high school. We're also hopefully going to be adding American Sign Language to our elementary grades in the next year. So when we do add additional courses, you get those for free. So as long as they are associated with the grade that you have purchased. So for example, high school, if you complete or if you purchase the entire high school pack and we add a course, you then get that course for free. You do not have to pay anything extra. I also want to mention that our curriculum has no subscriptions or hidden fees. You pay once and you own it. You get lifetime access. There's no monthly charges, no required add-ons. Like I said, it's flexible, so you can be interactive or printable, meaning you can do it on any screen with a PDF reader or through platforms like Google Classroom, Google Drive, or Lumen PDF. We give you access to Lumen PDF for free. It's normally $108 a year, but we have a partnership with them, which has been really fantastic if you need access to a PDF reader and you don't want to use Google. Or you can print it out and use it as a workbook. It's your choice. We're going to go through the printed version today. I also really want to make sure that you know that this is not just a worksheet curriculum. We have so many opportunities for hands-on learning. Our curriculum includes science experiments, outdoor activities, journaling prompts, creative projects, presentations, all to keep learning engaging and well-rounded. Also, we know that all students don't do well with test taking, so we need other ways to show that students are retaining the information, and that's why a lot of these hands-on learning activities and experiments and presentations and projects are great for homeschooling families. And if you're using portfolios, so let's say you're working on getting your kids set up, we're going to go through 7th grade today, you're getting them ready for high school and on to college. It's really nice to have a portfolio as a homeschooler so that if you ever put your kids back in public or private school, or they go on to college, you have a portfolio of their work. So that's why we like to include science experiments and creative projects and presentations that you can put in those portfolios. I also want to mention that we have parent teaching guides in our curriculum. So great for parents that, might be learning 7th grade language arts and social studies again. It's been a long time for a lot of us. And so we provide parent teaching guides that give you, that walk you through what to do each day. We include answers, teaching tips, key points to emphasize. We just want to make sure that you always feel confident. So let's start going through the 7th grade curriculum. If you want to see more samples and more in-depth samples, you can go to our website. You can click on any grade level and you can view samples at your leisure. So let's go through our language arts curriculum first. So we have 180 lessons in each course. That is a full credit course. It includes an entire year. We also include reading material in our curriculum, which I think sets us apart from a lot of curriculum options out there. We don't require you to go get any extra books or go to the library to get physical copies. We include all of it. So it's really helpful, especially for rural families or families that have multiple kids or single income households. This is a one-time fee for our curriculum. We don't require you to go out and buy a bunch of other materials. So I'm just going to walk through this pretty quickly just so you can get an idea. So this is the actual lesson for the student, and then we do comprehension questions, identifying sentence types, punctuation, key vocabulary terms, descriptive writing, sensory writing, assignments, we have quizzes and tests. So that's just the first 20 lessons in language arts. And then this is a parent teaching guide. This is what I really appreciate as a parent, is making sure that I feel confident on every single lesson that my student is learning. So not only are we teaching your student with the curriculum, but also we're hopefully providing enough information about what they're learning and how to help them. We also include answer keys in all of our parent teaching guides. And that's language arts. Social studies is also the same. We have 180 lessons, which is a full credit course. We include quizzes and assessments and tests. So an assessment, for example, a quiz, so that you know that your student is retaining information. And then here is the student workbook. So they're reading and learning, and then usually doing some think and respond questions at the end. And I think one of the real keys to this curriculum is just how easy it is to use. We know that you pour your heart and soul into your kids, and schooling at home is difficult. It's not easy. There's days that we want to give up, and there's days that we have victories. But we want schooling to be easy on you and the student, and so we try to make these digestible lessons that are easy to understand. You get a lot of information without spending way too much time on each lesson, and then spend more time on presentations or activities outside of the classroom. We do not want students on a computer all day. We want them going and reading books about what they're learning, or going to a museum. So we provide lots of activities, hands-on activities like that we suggest. Whether you do them or not is up to you. That's the beauty of homeschooling. And then the parent teaching guide. One thing I want to mention in the parent teaching guide is the key points to emphasize, how to help your student. Again, it's been a long time, presumably, since you learned 7th grade social studies and 7th grade history. So we try to give you some information to help with what your student is learning, so that if they have questions, you can help answer them. And also, just for you to get a quick refresher on, for example, they're learning about the Roman Empire, span from the British Isles to the Nile in Egypt. I've probably forgotten all of those things from when I was in 7th grade. So we try to give you those little tidbits of information so that as your student is learning, what they're learning and can help them if they have any questions. Here's our science student workbook. Again, we include quizzes, tests. We also include lots of science experiments, assessments. Oh, this is something that we also do include, and I want to point out. Our 7th grade science, for example, there are materials that are needed. Some are things that you can find in your house: baking soda, vinegar, dish soap, plastic wrap, rubber band, scissors. Looks like my printer did something weird there, but all of this is just so that at the beginning of the year, you know what is going to be needed, that we don't include. Again, a lot of things you'll have in your house. And if you have to go buy stuff, it kind of clearly outlines what you would need to buy. So here's the student workbook for science. Talk about energy, photosynthesis, comprehension quizzes. We also really try to make sure that we don't just do multiple choice. We also do open-ended questions so that students have a chance to say in their own words what they're learning, can really understand if the student is comprehending the lesson or not. And that's our 7th grade science. And here's our parent teaching guide. Again, we do key points to emphasize, how to help your student, trying to figure out, or trying to help your student, sunlight's role, the process of photosynthesis, the importance of oxygen, all of those things. And then we obviously provide the answer keys. And again, you can view all of these samples on our website and really take a few minutes or 30 minutes or an hour to really look through them. I want to mention, we can customize this curriculum for your student. If you have a student that, is in, let's say, 9th grade math, but 7th grade everything else, or 3rd grade math and 7th grade everything else, or any of the subjects, we can customize that for you. What you need to do is go to our website, view the samples, and then email us and let us know what grades you need for each subject, and we can customize that for you. So you would buy the subject that works best for your child. So let's say it's 7th grade. And then before you download it, you would email us and say, here's my order number. I would like to swap out 7th grade math, for example, for 8th grade math or 3rd grade math. Or I'd like to swap out 7th grade science for 9th grade science. So we can do that, no problem. We do it quite frequently for families. So here's the math student workbook. We go over the lesson, real world applications, and then a quick quiz. Quizzing in math at every lesson, excuse me, is a really great way to see if your student is retaining the information that they're learning. We don't recommend it in most other courses, but math is one that is really helpful so that if your student doesn't understand what they've learned in that lesson, you can look for YouTube videos, you can email us for additional information, and we are absolutely around to help you. We've been around for a long time. We're a small family-run business. But we've been around, the curriculum's been around since 2009, I think, is when we first copyrighted our curriculum. And so we've got a lot of resources to help families if your student is struggling with something, with a concept. We've got YouTube videos that we recommend, not that we've produced, but that, really do explain the concepts well. We are happy to send those to you if you just email our team. Like I said, we're a small team, and family owned, but we really try to get back to everyone within a few hours of an email or a chat message on our website. So if you ever have any questions, please reach out to us. Our team is happy to help. We also have a really great Facebook community of families using our curriculum. We only open it up to families that have currently purchased the curriculum. So if you're still on the fence about all-in-one curriculum, that would not be the right spot for you. But once you purchase the curriculum, that community is a fantastic resource for parents. If you are struggling with something or you want another resource or just have general questions, they're so very helpful. It's new homeschooling parents, veteran homeschooling parents, all sorts. It's a really fantastic community. Again, Today Your Student Will Learn is something that goes through the parent teaching guide, key points to emphasize, and then how to help your student. All of those are really helpful to me as a parent because sometimes, I'm running on empty and I realize that we have to homeschool and get through some lessons, and I don't really want to do any research before the lesson for that day. And the parent teaching guide really, really helps with that. So, we're not always perfect. We don't always prep before the lesson. And the great thing about this curriculum is that it really is no prep. The student can just start their work for the day, and then you can grade it And then if they have any questions, a lot of that information that kids might ask is in the parent teaching guide. And if not, we are happy to help you with any questions that you have. And that's the 7th grade all-in-one homeschool curriculum. Again, if you have any questions, you want to see other samples, you would like to read reviews of our curriculum, we have all of that on our website. One of the things I really want to mention too is that on our website, all of the reviews that are there are from verified purchasers. We use a third-party verification system, and we only allow people to write reviews on our website that have used the curriculum and have purchased it from us. So again, it will say next to it verified purchaser. That's because we use a third-party verifying platform to get those reviews on our website. So after a purchase, and if you purchase it, you'll receive that email as well. About a month after you purchase, or 3 months after you purchase, you'll get a review request. And then when you go in to review it, it'll verify that you've already made the purchase and allow you to leave a review on our website. So if you do have questions about our curriculum or want to read reviews, you can go to our website, and there is a section there that says parent reviews. And again, those are all verified people that currently use or have used our curriculum. So, and if you have any questions, please reach out to us. You can email us at info@allinonecurriculum.com. Our team is always happy to help, as I said. And I hope that this was helpful to you. Again, if you have questions, please email us. Thank you so much.